Well, yeah, because what Stevie is saying, and I never really looked at it this way. Here's a huge difference. You know, you got the greatest coaches in the world, the Belichick's, Joe Torre. We can go Vince Lombardi. We can go up and down the list. Not getting close with their players, but not only is Eric getting close with the players, bro, he's deciding what to pay them.
Exactly.
That's unheard. That's like a coach of a team, not the owner. The coach of the team deciding what players get paid. Russo'sBrand.com, where the pros are the pros. So now you're on a roll. Everybody's making money, kicking our ass. At what point do things begin to go south a little? Like what do you see to all of a sudden, you know, where we're not riding that glory chain and attitudes start to change and maybe people getting a little bit. When does that happen and how does that happen?
I'm going to tell you like this. Straight up, point blank. To me, from what I could see, and I knew people that worked in the office that I will never, you know, tell who they are, tell who their names are, whoever it was. And I knew certain things in the office because I'm not a gossiper.
Right.
I'm not a gossiper. I'm not a guy that comes home and want to talk to other wrestlers about what I see that's going on in my workplace. That's one of my pet peeves. I don't do that. Mm-hmm. I don't want the shit around me when I'm not around professional wrestling. Okay? It's just the way I live my life. But what I think the biggest problem was from the entertainment point of view, because I don't think what was going on the show had anything to do with the downfall per se, not 100%. Just like anything that has a problem, especially a big entity and a lot of money, it explodes from within. Mm-hmm. It explodes from within. And one of the main things that I never could understand was Eric being so close to the guys. Because when you run in something, just like a Don Shula, just like a Tom Landry, just like a Bill Belichick, just like Pop, that's the coach for the San Antonio Spurs, you never get close to your players. Or just like Eisenhower, or just like Patton. Okay, those are generals. You know some of your guys are going to die to do what they got to do because that's your job. And I think when the guys like Hogan getting what he got in his contract, and then he's got carte blanche to bring this guy in or help this guy get a push and things like that, now it's not thinking for the betterment of the company. It's thinking for the betterment of you.
And that's the thing. Think about that for a second, Stevie, because
I've thought about this for years.
Well, yeah, because what Stevie is saying, and I never really looked at it this way. Here's a huge difference. You know, you got the greatest coaches in the world, the Belichick's, Joe Torre. We can go Vince Lombardi. We can go up and down the list. Not getting close with their players, but not only is Eric getting close with the players, bro, he's deciding what to pay them.
Exactly.
That's unheard. That's like a coach of a team, not the owner, the coach of the team deciding what players get paid. And right. and now if he's getting close to these players and he's determining what they get paid, and those checks got to be cut from the people upstairs. Yeah, bro, the people upstairs are probably going to start asking questions why so-and-so is getting paid so much. I would think.
Let me ask you this. I don't have a problem with Eric. This is just me. I don't have a problem with Eric determining who should get paid and who shouldn't. I have a problem if certain people are getting paid that's not a very intricate part of the show.
Right. Isn't that a conflict of interest, though? Wouldn't you say?
But I'm just saying, okay, if you're the coach and the GM and you know who your players are,
right?
Okay, you're going to make sure they get compensated because these are workhorses.
Right.
But if you got a guy that's third string And just because you like him, you're going to give him the same kind of money you give a starter? No. Because you went to school with his daddy? Are you following what I'm saying?
I'm following exactly what you're saying. So did that start some?
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is we can't just generalize people's salaries, because if they're players, those salaries are warranted.
Right.
If they are, a part of this machine that we call WCW,
right.
And if they're players on that show.
If they're hanger-oners, they don't warrant the money.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. So
that's what I'm saying.
Now, if some of the boys started seeing some of this, did some of the boys start being disgruntled?
Well, not to me, because like I say, I don't get into that. You dig what I'm saying? I don't get into that because I don't run shit. And I'm not just talking about those guys. How many other people are getting paid that's not even on the roster? What about that, Vince?
Mm-hmm.
What about your girlfriend? What about your wife? What about your jump off? What about your Karen McDougal's?
Who?
What about your Stormy Daniels?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you now. Yeah. Okay.
See what I'm saying? What about them? How many of those was out there, Vince?
Yeah.
How many?
And on top of that, what about expenses? What about expense accounts? Are we paying for dinners? Are we paying for lavish hotels? I mean,
now you see where I'm going.
Yeah.
So let's not just make it about the boys.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other stuff that's attached to this. And it's all within that realm of a company's demise.
Yes.
Because Vince, whenever you're doing any kind of investigation, what is the first thing they tell you if you're a private detective? Follow the money.
Yeah.
Follow
because Stevie, here's my assessment, and to me, this is very, very simple business.
Okay.
Bischoff has a conversation with Ted Turner. Let's open up the checkbook. They open up the checkbook. Eric's right. 83 weeks, bro. Nobody thought in a million years it would happen. The company's making money hand over fist.
Right.
However, Stevie, at the same time, you've got executives in that company working under Ted who are looking down their noses at professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
They are embarrassed to have professional wrestling on the network. However, as long as it is making us this kind of money, it ain't going nowhere.
Exactly.
Whether we like it or not, look at the return on the investment. Whether we like it or not, they ain't going nowhere.
Right.
However, what happens at that point then, this is what I think is, I think, bro, in my opinion, I think Eric Bischoff creatively opened that door a little bit when the NWO just came so watered down.
Exactly. Well, like I say, from a point of, the show, you're 100% right.
Yes.
That is when you start to rest on your laurels.
Yes. And
that is when you start, and then you become a part of the show also. What I'm saying is, one thing that I always disagreed with was Eric being a part of that. You started this, this went against you. You should have always opposed it. In my opinion, you should have always opposed it. That makes the NWO strong.
Yeah, I got
how you going to be a part of the resistance? Okay, was it yesterday or was it today that Joe Biden was in France where they did the Normandy invasion? Was that yesterday or today?
I think it was yesterday.
Okay, the Americans are fighting fascism. Okay, how are you going to go fight fascism 80 years ago? Then all of a sudden you approve of it. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you're doing a hostile takeover by the NWO, which people related to WWE, you don't become that too.
Yeah, I totally understand that logic.
Fight that until the very end, because there has to be victory at the end.
Right.
But now you jump on it like it's a surfboard, and everybody ride the surfboard together, even a little dog, even somebody's little dog. See how the little dogs like to surf with their own, and this surfboard just goes and goes and goes, and then it goes out of sight.
Goes out of sight.
And what do you got after that?
What do you got after that? That, to me, that opened up the door for us.
Exactly.
Now all of a sudden, so here's what I see. Now all of a sudden, WWE Attitude Era, we turn the tables. Now you are giving an opportunity to those same decision makers that didn't want wrestling in the first place, because now it's like, look, this payroll has not changed, but what's coming in every week has changed.
Right.
So you're going from here's what we're paying out. This is what we're making. Slowly but surely now, bro, we start doing this.
Right.
So now we get closer to the merger with AOL, Time Warner. Ted is getting pushed more and more to the back.
Right.
Those higher ups still don't want to be in the wrestling business, but now they have backup.
Let me ask you something. Hold on, Vince.
Right.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%. But you said earlier how money rules everything.
Right.
But what about if those AOL Time Warner guys see somebody getting a big payoff?
Right.
Now, because I might not like wrestling, but if it's making money, hey, let it ride. But what if somebody sees something once they start really checking the books?
Right.
What if they start seeing things that don't add up, Vince? In essence, baby, you might be clipping me, because Ted and them overlooked this. But Time Warner, we're a worldwide entity. We don't overlook nothing. And who's behind this? You dig?
Bro, I got called into Brad Siegel's office, and he said directly to me, Vince, do not book Hulk. We cannot afford to have him on our television show. So what you're saying is absolutely correct, bro. As the advertising dollars started coming down, they started to look more closely at who Hogan's getting paid how much for a pay-per-view appearance? They started looking more closely at that. I mean,
because now Siegel is answering to someone that he never had to answer to before.
Right, exactly. And bro, here's what I don't understand. How did this turn into, oh, bro, WCW went out of business because of the finger point of doom. Went out of business because of David Arquette. Went out of business because of Vince Russo. Went out of business because of Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan. Stevie, this sounds like simple business to me.
I've been saying it for years.
I mean, when you follow the money, this is simple. This was a business decision,
That's
bro.
all it was, man.
I hope you liked the last video, and remember, man, you can go right now, if you've never been a Patreon subscriber, go right now to patreon.com/Russo TWC and get a free week of Russo's brand on me.
What's up, brand? This is Jeff Lane inviting you to come hang out with me over on Twitch. I'm live several nights a week playing games, classic and new, currently going through Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the new Contra game, and more. So check me out, Jeff Lane 22 on Twitch.
Pick up Mike Durbin's Conan action figure, bro. Look how beautiful this thing is. I freaking love the packaging, man. Look at this. MikeDurbin.com, guys. Help Mike out, man. This is a beautiful action figure, bro. Beautiful. MikeDurbin.com.